Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. Yes, because I'm on vacation and I'm going to be leaving and not have access to my console for at least the better part of 2.5 weeks. I bought out the campaign. So what you are seeing in front of your eyes is the Tier 7 premium German destroyer Karl von Schonberg. We are on Crash Zone and we are top tier. Deep irony. And I'll explain why in a minute. All right, so we got a Yudachi and a couple of Summers. So clearly, as a gunboat, we are positioned to take them out. All right, let's talk about this ship first and foremost in World of Warships Legends on the PC. This is a Tier 6 destroyer. So when it came here, it should have been a Tier 5 destroyer. But instead, they increased it to a Tier 7 destroyer. I don't really think that makes a lot of sense. When I tell you about the ship design, I think you will agree with me that it doesn't make a lot of sense. You can see here in the consumables, we've got 2 charges of a main battery reload booster, 2 charges of a speed boost, 2 charges of a rather long-range sonar, 5.6 kilometers if I remember correctly, and it lasts for just under 2 minutes. That is your big power boost, and maybe that is why they decided to put it at Tier 7 instead of Tier 5, which would have been the appropriate tier based on the things Wargaming's done in the past. But as we all know, Wargaming is not constrained by convention or any sort of rules when it comes to doing anything other than making money. So this ship is put here because as a Tier 7 campaign ship, it's going to make Wargaming more money than if it was a Tier 5 premium. Besides, they've got all new black ships to sell you suckers out there. So buy your carbon copy of another ship except it's black. Somehow that's racist, by the way, and then you can enjoy this game some more. All right, we are not doing what destroyers traditionally do, and I mean, we're not going straight into the cap. And the reason for that is they may be 150 millimeter guns, but they are really not great at killing other destroyers because, as you know, 150 will overpen. So instead, think of this kind of as an Elbing in some ways. That's what I would do. Or you could think of it as the ships that it really is. And we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. As I continue to skulk around the cap here, let's talk about something really quick. Max dispersion 104 meters. That's not too bad. Shell weight 45.3 kilos for HE and 45.3 kilos for AP. Shell velocity 835 meters per second for both HE and AP. All right, I've decided to go a little bit more around this bigger island here in the cap. And as you can see, I've switched to armor piercing, so if I need to kill a cruiser, which is probably one of the things that the ship is good at, as long as they're close range, like a 2.1 or 2.2 kilometer Baltimore. But do you think I'm going to actually shoot at the Baltimore? No, that makes too much sense, because the Baltimore doesn't have torpedoes. Why would I shoot at the Baltimore when I can use the island to shield most of the Baltimore salvo? And look at this, we are getting greedy. Got a Helena over there. We kill the Baltimore with torpedoes, Dev Strike, and now we're going to light up Helena. And as you can see here as we run to the island, aiming not great. There's the right aim point, and in a minute you will see We're going to get a couple more torpedo strikes. There come the Citadel hits. Dev strike kill number 2. Probably just missed a double strike by a little bit there. So 2 kills in the bag for Karl von Schonberg. And we switch back to HE because both of the enemy destroyers over here are tag teaming my teammate who has since died. And so we will use this opportunity to light up Udachi, which I think poses the greatest threat to the team as a whole, even though Summer's D is one of the most overpowered ships on the planet, simply because Udachi has a torpedo reload booster and very powerful Japanese torpedoes. So we're going to chip away at Udachi. Udachi gets finished off. There's another kill somewhere there in the mix, and we're going to evacuate this cap area. And there is the Enterprise, one of my favorite ships because I had a really good game in it. And we're going to play dodge a torpedo here with the Enterprise. As you can see, do a little bit of turning. And let's check the long-range ballistics of these 150 millimeter guns. A little bit floaty at this distance, which is 7.6 kilometers. But on the other hand, we've dodged his torpedo salvo there because it had a really big split in between torpedo 2 and torpedo 1. So, I mean, I'll take that. Enterprise still maneuvering one way or the other. I don't want to say backwards or forwards because I'm not really quite sure. Probably forwards. But then it looks like he's going to change direction here and start going the other way. So we're just continuing to shell, and we are going to deftly evade these torpedoes as well. Quite frankly, you didn't really have a chance of hitting us with those. Armor piercing, not getting really the joy that I want, although these are pens, and they are doing, in theory, full value. We're going to brake here and turn a little bit and avoid another torpedo from Enterprise. Back at half throttle to full throttle. Turning will activate our main battery reload booster as we blind dodge more torpedoes, and soon the Enterprise will be dead for our third kill as we turn and avoid fire from the Summers. And yes, I know I wasted a couple of seconds of main battery reload booster, but I have torpedoes to dodge still because the Enterprise commander is hoping to kill me with his last set of airplanes. So we're going to turn here in a minute as we avoid more incoming shells and get set on fire by somebody else. We're only getting shot at from like through 2 or 3 different directions. It's cool. Totally is cool. We got a lot of hit points here. We're going to turn again. Maybe the wrong way. Turn again, and we're going to avoid this last set of torpedoes here. I'm going to down throttle, and we'll just let them go by. Alright, as you can see, the blue team is crushing the red team. Someone on the red team has a ton of ribbons and a couple of dev strikes. I don't think that last set of planes is coming for me. So we're going to orient our guns to the starboard side of the ship. There is Summers, and we're going to light Summers up. And there is the high caliber metal at 92K. As you can see at this range, really nice ballistics. And although we were being shot at by a friend of the Summers, we are continuing to shell the Summers with some success. And those big 150s, we're going to crank out one set of torps there. I probably should have just kept shooting. But that was kind of my, I don't know, just hedging my bets. Anyway, we do not kill the Summers because I shot those torpedoes. and clearly I should have. But he'll get finished off here really quickly. We ended up with just over 100,000 damage, so not too shabby. There's the assisted kill. All right, while we're waiting for the rest of the match to complete, let's talk about the history of the Karl von Schonberg. I read a really unusual review on the World of Warships Reddit that didn't sound like it was talking about the same ship. So I dug a little bit deeper. I found a post from 8 years ago in World of Warships subreddit from someone named Sub Octavian. And Sub Octavian says it's an SK-22 design which was discarded in favor of the Z 1934 designer Zestorer 1934. It is a Vulcan shipyard project. The only source is from Russia. Questionable. It says September 7th, 1933, 4 sketches were presented to Fleet Command by the factories Schichau, Vulcan, Deschimag, and Deutsche Werk. Schichau project was the most original flush-decked hull, strong armament of 5 127mm cannons and 2 twin and 1 single turret. The Vulcan project was developed based on World War I super destroyer and inherited its big sizes, low forecastle or forecastle, and massive funnels. Artillery consisted of 4 127 or 4 150mm cannons. Eventually, the Deutsche Werk Project 1 and the final version, Type 1934, was developed. So that is why I think this ship is at the wrong tier and why we ended up where we did. Hey, we ended up at the top of the board. 3 medals, 3 big kills, 1309 base XP, over 100,000 damage. High caliber medal, 2 dev strikes. Karl von Schonberg. All right. In the port, aiming system mod 1, propulsion mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and main battery mod 3, and that's what I recommend for the ship without reservation. Here in the loadout, a couple of charges of main battery reload booster, good for 20 seconds. You can exchange that with a smoke generator, but why would you do that? At this tier, there's too much sonar, too much radar. Don't do it. Keep the main battery reload booster on this ship. All right. 2 charges of the engine boost runs for 2 minutes. And 2 charges of a 5.6 kilometer ship sonar that runs for just under 2 minutes. Rare battle booster for movement speed and cooldown time. All the rest of the flags are epic. Type 9 permanent camouflage. Legendary Birthday 21 flag. Here in the specs, 25,300 hit points with our build. We got those 4 150mm guns, 11.2 kilometer firing range, allegedly may be built out to go as far as 14.2 if you spec the right commanders for range. 4.3 second reload, 15.9 second turn time, HE shells 2200 max damage, with an 11% fire chance, AP shells 3,800 max damage. 2 sets of quad launchers, reload every 90 seconds. Max damage is 14,522. 8.5 kilometer range, rather slow at 60 knots. Yes, almost an entire salvo can be dodged by a fast enough ship. 1,400 meters detectability. AA defense, you can see it's not really worth talking about because it's horrible. Maneuverability is not great either. 37.1 knots, that's the base speed and the speed boost flag. Turning circle is 690. Rudder shift time is 4.4. Yuck. Concealment 5.3 in the surface, 3 from the air, 3 when firing in smoke. So it's big. It's not very maneuverable, but it's got a lot of hit points and it's got 150 millimeter guns. We played 9 games. We won 7 of them. 7 of our kills have been by the main guns, 5 by torpedo. Main battery accuracy, 62%. Torpedo accuracy, 13% because they are very slow. Average results per battle, 1.3 kills, 45k damage. The highest battle achievements, probably all from that game you just watched, which was quite good if I do say so myself, allegedly. Obviously, it has the potential for more damage. It just wasn't there in that game. All right, Armor Viewer, nothing special here. Is it tough? Yes. Does it have extended sonar range or duration? Yes. Does it have the main battery reload booster? Yes. So all that's technically accurate. The commander I recommend is Eric Bay, fully maxed for your pleasure. Minus 4% destroyer detectability. We got Sims for hit points. And Sa Zhen Bing. Plus 8 degrees ricochet angle. Row 1, Observant Rage. Row 2, Look at Me Now. Row 3, Twist and Track. Row 4, the unique skill Torpedo Royal. I wish they would put an E at the end of Royal so we could call it Torpedo Royale. And Unstoppable. That is the commander and the build I recommend for Karl von Schonberg. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Like, comment, subscribe about the ship in the comments below. And I will see you on the next video.